This is Jonathan Agoff here for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to be joined by former world title challenger John Ryder. It's Sunday, the day after the night before Canelo Alvarez beating Avni Yildirim. John, what was your reaction to the fight last night?
Well, I cheated and I watched this morning. Thankful of the playback on the zone. Bit disappointed, really. Do you know what I mean? I mean, everyone wants to see Canelo at his best, and luckily we did. But just think Yildirim, I don't know, Yildirim of old would have made a lot more of a fight of it, and it would have been a lot more entertaining. But I mean, he done nothing for 3 rounds really, and I mean, he threw out one big, I think it was a left hook at a point when he'd been hurt, and other than that, there was no real fight in him. So it was a bit disappointing. I don't know what his tactics were. I was under the illusion he'd come out swinging and try and have a real go, but I don't know, a bit disappointed from Yildirim's performance, but Canelo was clinical, picked his shots beautifully. What other fighter do you know that can just lead off with an uppercut and just get away with it? Defensively, beautiful, you know what I mean? Offensively, masterclass, not overdoing it. I know it only went 3 rounds, but he was patient. Yeah, he took his time, picked his shots well, and looked $1 million doing so.
It seemed like after that knockdown, the writing was pretty much on the wall. But did you think Yildirim was hurt? Because it was surprising that he was pulled out at the end of the round.
Yeah, hurt by the shot. Although it didn't look like the biggest shot he took the fight so far. Do you know what I mean? It looked like he took a lot bigger shots around the body and to the head. I would like to have seen him have the one more round that Diaz was saying he was going to give him, and just to see if he come out swinging a bit more and made more of a fight of it, and could have really just made it a better fight then. Do you know what I mean? But that was it, which was a bit of a disappointment. But I think there wasn't much coming back from him in the corner. He seemed a bit quiet and wasn't showing much desire to really crack on.
What do you make of Canelo though? You were saying sort of he was, landing the uppercut at will pretty much. What did you make of his performance? Did you see any improvements from his last fight?
Not really. I was different styles. You know what I mean? He done what he has to do. He dominated from the off. He held the centre of the ring with Yildirim and just worked away. I mean, picked his shots beautifully. Just so powerful. Do you know what I mean? Just generates so much power. It's hard to fault him. Do you know what I mean? Rarely takes a shot clean on the shin, and just such disciplined performance from himself.
Announced in the ring last night, he'll take on Billy Joe Saunders, 3-belt unification on May 8th. What's your thoughts, first of all, on that clash?
You know what? For British boxing fans, we've got to be really lapping this up. We've really got to get behind Billy Joe and really support him. He's going in there against the pound-for-pound best boxing superstar in the world currently. And he's daring to do you know what I mean? Callum Smith dared to do last year and come unstuck, and just like Yildirim did last night. But as Brits, we've really got to get behind Billy Joe and give him the support he deserves. It's a tough ask. It'll be stateside, I'm sure. And on Canelo's recent form, he's really up against it. But Billy Joe has got the style to beat him. And I mean, if you stand in front of Canelo, he's going to have an easy night's work. But Billy Joe's not going to do that. He's going to dance around. He's going to be light on his feet. He's going to be in and out, popping the jab, sharp 1-2s, and it's going to be a frustrating night for Canelo, I think.
I mean, a lot of people obviously know that you've been in the ring with Billy Joe quite a number of years ago now. Has he, changed at all since then? Do you think he's improved? What were you most impressed with?
Well, it depends what performance you're going by. Do you know what I mean? He's had a couple of lacklustre performances. I think Billy Joe's main issue is time spent out the ring. He's had a lot of layoffs out the ring and a lot of extended periods of time where he's not fought, and not all fault of his own, but the best thing in boxing is activity, and I think that showed for Yildirim last night. 2 years out the ring, going into a fight with Canelo, it's not ideal, is it? And listen, Billy Joe's shook off the ring rust against Martin Murray in November. He should be, I think he's in camp now, so he should be come back firing all cylinders May 8th. And listen, if Billy Joe's on his game, I'm not comparing Canelo to David Lemieux, but look what Billy Joe done to Lemieux. He made him silly. I mean, made him a raw novice. That's what Billy Joe's got in his locker.
Do you think he literally has to win every single round, especially if it's, away from home, to get a decision out there? Because, Canelo, as you say, he's pretty much a complete fighter.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think Golovkin won. Listen, people might disagree, but I think Golovkin won the first fight with Canelo. I think pretty clear, and for it to be a draw, I mean, we've seen some bad decisions in boxing, but I do feel Golovkin really won the first fight, and then Canelo put it right for the second fight and got the win, like a true champion does. But I think he's got to win and win big. He can't really leave too much to doubt. No close rounds. He's got to really, really put on a performance of his life.
Do you think he has that style to trouble Canelo? Do you think Canelo's faced anyone like Billy Joe, or do you think he's faced someone similar?
Listen, Canelo's been around long enough to have faced every style there possibly is to fight. But I just think Billy Joe's very good at what he does. He's very light on his feet. He's very quick. Probably underrated power as well. He's not got a massive knockout ratio, but he can dig a bit. Not that I think he'll trouble Canelo too much power-wise. I mean, Canelo's been up to 175 and not been troubled by Kovalev. And I know he spars a lot of big guys, and he's been in with Golovkin, a lot of big natural hitters. I just think Billy Joe's speed and timing will serve him well.
So do you think, last one on this, he will go out there and beat Canelo, or is it too early to say for you?
Too early to say, do you know what I mean? We'd be hoping that Billy Joe would have blasted Mike Murray out there if we go on the recent performances, and it was more of a lackluster performance. But listen, he got the job done. I can't really say anything. I had a year at the ring and I come back with a real lackluster performance. So listen, it's all about on the night, getting it right. He's obviously going to have to travel to the States. He's working hard in camp now, I'm sure, and he's giving him the best possible chance to beat him.
Let's go on to you. You beat Mike Guy on the Golovkin Zerameta bill in December. You feel like your performance was lackluster?
Yeah, I mean, not great. I mean, flew into Miami on the Saturday before, boxed the following Friday, and I mean, it was a bit up and down. I mean, the bubbles are a hard thing to get used to, being locked in your room for a day and then not having much freedom, being restricted to the confines of the hotel part that we've got, of a small garden, a communal dining area, and pretty much just our rooms and the small gym, which wasn't fantastic. But listen, it's a learning experience, and I was glad to be on the Golovkin bill. It was great to meet Golovkin, but I'd had a long time out the ring as well, and a long time in camp, probably too long. But listen, we live and learn. Won't make the same mistake again of overdoing it in camp and putting the foot on the gas when I need to and slowing it down when I should. So a big learning experience, a box that needed to be ticked. Listen, it was always hard with a carrot of a world title fight being loomed next. So it was just about getting in there and getting through it, really.
You guys are obviously professionals. You do the dues in the gym. You don't cut any corners. But mentally, is it sometimes difficult to get up for fights, considering you had that massive world title fight with Callum Smith in front of a massive crowd, and then you go to face sort of an unknown sort of quantity behind closed doors on late notice? Is it difficult mentally to get up for these fights?
No, not really, because I was treating that as a final eliminator. Obviously, like I said, the carrot had been dangled in front of me that come through this, I'd be fighting for a WBA regular this year, which is the case, hopefully. And then, so I was treating that as a hard fight, giving Mike Guy the respect he deserved. And he just didn't really come to fight. He come to run a marathon. So he come with the impression, after the fight, I had the impression that he won. The only thing he won was a distance covered in the ring. Do you know what I mean? He was well on his feet and well on his toes, but it was a frustrating night. But like I say, box ticked, and on to the next one.
Did Golovkin invite you for sparring? I think I saw Tony Sims's Instagram post.
Yeah, no, we was lucky enough to go into the change room after and had a chat with Golovkin. He said he'd love to train with me one day, and
oh, wicked!
It'd be great for me to come over. So that was lovely. I've been a fan of Golovkin for years, so hopefully the opportunity comes up and I do get a chance to go to one of his training camps.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, so big fight for you, it looks like, coming up against David Morrell for the WBA regular title. Now, he is 4-0, 3 KOs. What do you make of that fight? And have you had any news on when and where that could take place?
No, I think it's gone to purse bids now. So hopefully mid-March, end of March, we should know who's won it and where it'll be. I mean, it's hard to go on, isn't it? He's had a good amateur career in Cuba. He's really putting his foot on the gas in the pros and been upgraded to regular champion. I've only really seen the fight with Lennox Allen where I thought he was vulnerable at times. He does take a shot, and I don't think you can give me any free shots. I will capitalise on that, and we'll take full advantage of it. So, listen, I'm hoping we can get this over the line soon and just get my chance to be a world champion.
It's very rare that a guy with maybe just 4 professional fights is already world champion. I know he's elevated, but still, surely, going into this fight, people look at your experience as being crucial. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know he's gone the distance on a couple of occasions with, I think, Lennox Allen, but I've had years of experience now. I mean, I've been doing 12 rounders for years now, and I mean, just because he's done one doesn't mean he's got the bundle of experience. He's used to a 3, maybe 5 round format in the amateurs. 12 rounds are all new to him. I know he's prepared for it in camp numerous times, but I think over the years I've been in this game, I've got a good system with my team around me, and we can work hard for 12 rounds and really pull it out of the bag.
That's a big fight. That could be potentially on a PBC show, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that either way, it'd be nice to box in the States again, if whether it be on PBC. I'm hoping Eddie can win it and put it on the undercard of Canelo and Billy Joe. That'd be even better. But listen, I'll do what I've got to do to win this world title.
John, just a couple more before we finish up. Callum Smith obviously went out and gave it his all against Canelo, came unstuck. What's your thoughts on what he might do next?
I think he's got to move up to 175. I think the year beforehand he was dead at the weight when he fought me. So I think a year down the line, inactive when he fought Canelo, is just, I think he was beat when he stepped on the scales at 168. He didn't have much in him. I think he needs, for his health and his safety moving forward, he needs to go up to 175. And listen, the likes of Bivol and a few of the other names, they're tough fights. There's no easy task there. But I think for his best chance, he needs to move up.
And what's the vibe like in the gym right now? You've got yourself on the verge of a world title. You've got Conor Benn facing Samuel Vargas, who's been there and done it. You've got Craig Richards maybe facing Bivol. Everyone's in big fights. Felix Cash potentially against Denzel Bentley.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, me and Martin Ward were pretty much in the same boat. I mean, yeah. I'm waiting for a world title. He's waiting for a final eliminator. Felix Cash obviously got the British and Commonwealth title against Denzel Bentley, which is a good buzz. Ted Cheeseman against James Metcalf, again, British and Commonwealth titles. There we got, Conor Benn fighting Sammy Vargas. I mean, it's a real buzz. Joe Cordina's back after having his hand operated on, and he's back firing all cylinders, and he's fighting, I think, next month. So we're buzzing. The gym's got a real buzz around it, and it's good to have everyone back.
Message to your fans ahead of this potential fight with David Morrell?
Listen, if you can be there, be there. If you can't, please tune in and watch. Hopefully these odd times are behind us, and we can start getting back in arena supporting, and look forward to hearing you all screaming my name on fight night.
The Gorilla, John Ryder, waiting for this big fight against David Morrell. Appreciate you coming on, John, on the Sunday afternoon. Going to watch Arsenal?
Yeah, I'm going to tune into that now. Hopefully we can get 3 points.
Much needed. All right, John, appreciate you coming on, and best of luck in that fight if we don't speak for it.
Lovely. Thank you for having me on.